Hello, welcome to the Better Wife Society. My name is Braille, and today we're going to talk about people are always checking for self respect. So, I'm going to give everybody a moment to get into the room, and then we're going to talk about self respect matters. One of the things I had to learn as a little girl is that people are unconsciously observing the self respect that you have in order to determine what level of respect they give. If you don't have any self respect for yourself, people are nothing but mirrors. They reflect back the lack of self respect that you have. It was Confucius that said, respect yourself and others will respect you. Everything that you are is somewhat of an extension of your self respect. I'll never forget when I would have these conversations with my grandmother, God bless her soul. When I tell you, she prepared me for the real world. And at the time, I didn't even want to sit at her foot and learn. I thought that she didn't know what she was talking about until I started really interacting with others and getting to know how humans move. Then I realized that they're constantly, unconsciously, always observing the self-respect that we have for ourselves so they can determine the level of respect that they're going to give us. The thing is, since it's a mirror, we tend to leave it off on the external thing or that it's somebody else or we throw off on other people. But they are literally, and this is an unconscious thing that everybody is doing. It's not a good or a bad thing. It's just a human thing that we do. So don't take it as, oh my gosh, they should just look at everybody and give everybody the respect they deserve when this means that you desire for other people to give you the respect that you don't give yourself. This means that you want people to love you when you don't love yourself. And see, that is illogical thinking. The simulation, the reality that we currently live in, it doesn't apply. Everything for self is about you. It's about you. Self esteem, self confidence, self respect, self control, self compassion, self awareness. All of these things require the action of self. Self respect matters. People are unconsciously checking to see if you have self respect, and they're looking to gauge your level of respect they're going to give you. So if you don't treat yourself well and you talk down, you do it, and I've seen it happen in little ways, in interactions in life. I've seen women that I so admire. I be, oh my gosh, she's that girl. She's the it girl. She's so successful. She's so beautiful. And then the unconscious minds begin to pick up the cracks of self respect that she lacks. And then I'm like, oh, so bad, so sad. She doesn't understand the little things that she is doing is letting people know that she doesn't have a healthy self-respect for herself and they're treating her accordingly. Just because you can walk into a room and you have everything, you're that it girl, you have money, you have the title, you have the CEO, you have the business, you have everything going on. People are unconsciously observing you to see what level of self-respect that you have for you. And then they mirror back that respect that you have for yourself. When my grandmother was teaching me this, I wasn't paying attention. Then I grew up and became a grown woman. And I started to notice it all around me. I started to notice the girl who would let other people treat her badly because she wanted to be liked. I started noticing the girl who you could give her a compliment, instead, she would turn it into something very negative. I started to notice the cracks, realizing that people don't understand that self respect is something that you have to build. And the self respect that you have, people are always unconsciously checking to see if you have a healthy level of self respect. And if you don't, they just mirror back to you what you don't have or what you believe that you are. You don't get to fake this. There's no fronting this. You can't fake having a healthy level of self respect. You can put on a facade, but it only lasts for so long because our brains are unconsciously searching for the cracks. And if we see it, then we start to mirror back to you, the level of self-respect that you have for yourself. And so we have stumbled in some weird forms, this generation of women that want men to love them more than they love themselves. They want men to respect them more than they respect themselves. They want someone to do something for them that they're not willing to do for themselves. Self respect matters. And I never forget the example that my grandmother gave me when she was teaching me about self respect and how important it is, and how all the things that you value, they're an extension of your self respect. So when you have a car and it's junky, I want you to think about the person who has a car that's very junky. When people get into the car, since it's already junky, they're just going to treat the car like you treat it. So they're going to throw their trash down. They're going to just leave trash behind. They're just going to smudge things since it's already smudged. So they're just going to do the same thing. They're going to treat it like you treat it. If you have a car that is gorgeous and it's new, and they get in and it's smelling good, everything is shiny and everything is glossy, they're going to sit in that car like it's a museum on wheels because they're going to treat things like you treat things. Everything that you currently have, I don't care what it is an extension of your self-respect, and people are unconsciously processing the level of self-respect that you have so they can gauge the level of respect they have to give. And they only mirror or reflect back you. That's all they do. So if you don't care, nobody else is going to care. I know you want to believe that somebody else is going to care. People like myself who are very conscious of this, because I was taught this as a little girl. Okay, I was taught about self-respect and how everything's an extension of your self-respect and the things that you value, especially when you say you value that thing. Especially when you say this is something valuable to me, this is something I care about, but then you mistreat it, then you don't take care of it. Other people are just going to follow your lead. You're leading them. You're leading them, and they're deciding what level of respect they're going to give you, how they're going to treat you, and what they're going to do to you. You set the tone. Everything of self is about you. You have so much personal power. It saddens my heart that now we're in a level of generation where women don't even understand the personal power that they have. And it's not just for women. When I'm talking about self-respect, I'm talking about a human being, a person. You have so much personal power that you haven't even claimed yet. You have no idea how much personal power that you have in this stimulation, in this reality, that you can change, you can magnify, you can have any and everything that you desire. But if you can't understand that everything that you're currently doing, the simulation, the reality, the self-respect that you have, people are unconsciously processing your actions, the things that you say, the things that you value, and then they are reflecting back the things that you feel about you. So if you don't like you, no wonder other people don't. If you don't respect you, no wonder other people don't. If you don't love you, no wonder other people don't. Because they only can give back to you what you have. That is the simulation. That is the reality that we currently live in. You are the determiner. You make the determination. Self-respect, it matters. It matters so much. People are constantly listening to how you talk about yourself. They're telling you, oh, you're such a beautiful girl. And I've had this happen too, where I tell a girl, oh, you're so beautiful. I love your hair, girl. You got it going on. And she'll come back with oh, girl, I just did something together. I just do something together. Like, I just do something together. Like, girl, that was your opportunity to own it. That was your opportunity for me to reflect back the self-respect that you should have for yourself. That was your opportunity to say, yes, thank you. That's all you had to say. But I've seen it where women don't understand that healthy self-respect matters. People are unconsciously picking and processing the level of respect they're going to give you. But you do things for them to pick up. And I actually don't want to do this video in a way where I sit here and throw things out. And in order for you to show that you have self-respect, and then you go out here and you do those things. But the thing is, let me tell you this is why I don't ascribe to the idea, fake it until you make it, because I know when it comes to self-respect, our brains are unconsciously picking up the cracks. Our brains are unconsciously picking up the cracks that lets us know how you feel about you. So you really can't fake this. You have to actually do the inner work for self. You have to do the things that are that's going to elevate you and have a healthy self-respect for yourself and do the work. You're going to have to do the work so that you can have that healthy self-respect, and people will see that it's genuine and they're not going to pick up the cracks. Because think about the people that you have come in contact and they have all this bravado and they're so extra about how great they are and how wonderful they are. And then you start hearing how they treat themselves. Then you start you start seeing about the things that they value. And the self-respect that you had, the high level self-respect that you had in the beginning, it starts to go down because the brain starts to process the unconscious behaviors, actions, thoughts, words that these people are giving off. And you just reflect back to them what they truly are. So maybe in the beginning, they might have started off coming in as though they had this high level of self-respect for themselves. They that girl, they the it girl. And then you start seeing the cracks where they don't believe in themselves. Not just don't believe in, they don't value themselves. They don't respect themselves. They don't love themselves. And then you're like, oh my gosh, if she would just fix those cracks, if she would just work on herself, if she would just take the time to, instead of trying to fake it until you make it and put out this image that you are that it girl, that you have it all together, if you actually do the work, you don't have to fake nothing. You are that girl. You won't have to fake a thing. And then you would get that reflected back to you. You would get that mirrored back to you. But it happens in so many different things. Even happens with like bad habits that you have that are showing that you don't even value the temple, the body that you're currently in. When it comes to self-respect, it is the image that you have of yourself in a healthy regard of character, values, and dignity. But if you are doing certain things, certain behaviors, certain things that you say, certain ways that you act, these things will be reflected back to you because people are going to realize I don't have to give her the level of respect that she thinks she deserves. I'm gonna give her the level of respect that she already has for herself. So if she doesn't really like herself, baby, why should I? If she don't love herself, why should I? If she don't respect anything or value anything that she has, why should I? Let me go ahead and use it like she's using it. That is the very reason why, if you're not taking care of yourself and the things that you say you value, which are things that you value are an extension of your self-respect, and you're not taking care of it, people will begin to treat the thing just like you do. They're not going to go in here and say, oh my gosh, let me go in here and keep her car clean when she ain't keeping it clean. Let me go ahead and throw down my fast food in the car because her fast food is already there. That is how people are going to use you. That's how people are going to take you, and they're going to gauge the respect they should give you, and they're going to treat you like you treat yourself. They're not, yes, there's some great people in the world who will see that you don't have high respect for yourself, and then they will probably avoid you and won't interact with you. They may even, because I've come across this myself, when I like, she could be a great person to be around. I love people who got good energy. I love people who are fun to be around. I love classy, elegant women. But then when I start hearing you, I start hearing you talk badly about yourself. You talk badly about your weight. You talk badly about how you look. You talk badly about yourself. And then I start seeing how you value things. The things that you say you value, don't take care of it. Then the level of respect that I have for you begins to decrease. And I have no desire to actually hang around you, because I'm really going to hang around more women who are more my energetic complement and match, versus women that I'm always gonna, those type of women who don't have high level self-respect for themselves. A lot of times what happens is they tend to be very jealous. And I don't want that. I like us to be celebrating each other, because I like women to win. I like women to win. But people are always checking for self-respect. They're always unconsciously checking to see if you exude some type of behavior, or you say something, or you do something that can determine the level of respect that they're going to give you. Some of us, we're in a generation now where everybody think, if I'm a CEO, if I'm a boss, if I'm a multimillionaire, people are immediately going to give you self-respect. They'll give you but so much. They're still going to give you the level of self-respect that you have for yourself. It's still going to be mirrored back to you. Look at how you see all these rich people, and they can't find people who love them. Why do y'all think that is? How you going to find somebody to love you, baby, you can't love you? You have to be your first love. You have to be the person that loves you. You have to love yourself more than anybody else on the planet. And that is going to help your self-respect. Loving you, that valuing you, taking back your personal responsibility and personal power and accountability. That is going to keep you with that healthy self-respect that other people are going to want to be around you and mirror back to you. If the only thing you're mirroring back to you is a whole bunch of people that take advantage of you, a whole bunch of people that disrespect you, a whole bunch of people that you feel like use you, baby, change the mirror. Change the mirror. It's time to elevate, evolve, level up so you can change the mirror. People are only mirroring back to you what you're giving. They're seeing that you lack boundaries, so they're mirroring it back to you. They're seeing that you don't respect yourself, so they're mirroring it back to you. They're seeing that you don't love yourself, so they're mirroring it back to you. They're seeing that you don't care about yourself, so they're mirroring it back to you. I got a lot of flack for when I told you all in that, I think it was, I don't know what the name of the video. I think I'm having a brain fart. I don't remember the name of the video, but I did a video called The Codes of Success. And I talked about the fact that I kind of, if someone does me wrong once, they've done it, that was one time too many. A lot of people pushed back and said, oh my gosh, you don't have any patience. You don't let people just be. You're so mean. Let me tell you this. Those people realize that I have a healthy self-respect. Even if they don't like me, baby, they gonna respect me. They gonna respect me. They know that now they have a higher level of respect than probably with me pushing back and letting that person go. Instead of trying to change them, and instead of trying to make them into something they aren't, instead of trying to teach them to be somebody they aren't, I I remove myself from the situation. And even if they don't like me and like that I did that, they respect me. Because when it comes to self, we are doing what? We're doing the things that are going to, we're going to be able to look back on and be proud of. The more things that you do to respect yourself, the more self-esteem, the more self-confidence, the more happiness that you build within. When you're constantly living for other people, then your happiness and the things that you want is going to be based off what other people can give you and not what you can have. But people are always checking. And am I saying that you always got to be like mean or aggressive or angry? No. I'm saying that you need to be self aware and realize that people are literally checking to see the level of respect that they can give you. And all they're going to do is they're going to respect you to the level of self respect that you have, not this fake, fraudulent, phony thing that we have now where everybody's acting as like they are so self confident, they have so much self esteem. But I can tell that's not true. I can tell that's not true. Even if you think they're not picking up on that fake facade that you have, they are. Because unconsciously our mind is always processing behaviors and things and that people are doing. And where that is bringing in the cracks. That's allowing us to hone in on the things that show us that this person does not have respect for themselves. When you don't value you, you can't expect other people to value you. And they won't. And they won't. Majority will not. I don't want to speak for all and say all of them won't. Because some people are pretty good people and they will realize that you don't have the level of self-respect that's required for them to hang around you. Because I already know when I see it, I'm no longer interested in friendship because I know it leads to other things happening. When I would have just removed myself, I would have never had to engage or entertain a situation. But there's so many things that women do that indicate that they don't have a high level of self-respect for themselves. The things that you say you value, people are watching to see if you really value them. The things that you claim that are valuable to you, people are watching to see if you take care of it. People are watching to see how you treat it. People are watching to see if you stand on business. And when you don't, they understand that the level of self-respect that you have isn't high, and the level of respect that they are going to give is very low. Self-respect matters. It is so important that we do the work of self-respect. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take a pause and see what everybody is saying. Miss Concrete Rose said, I'm in work meeting, but hopefully you'll still be on when I'm done. Hopefully I will be. Hey, Daisy. Hey, Katrina. How to repair a lack of self-respect for self shown to a man. See, the thing is, you're not doing it for a man. You're doing it for yourself. You're going to do little things every single day in everyday interactions to show that you have high self-respect. So when it comes to being with a man, guess what? It's easy. It's embodied. That's the reason why it's not about a man. It's about self. It's about you doing and paying attention to interactions is basically studying yourself, taking the time to study yourself to see if you have a healthy level of self-respect. Like you can kind of gauge if are you doing things to please other people instead of yourself? Are you speaking badly about yourself? Because even speaking about yourself in a negative way, even if it's only negative self-talk, it's still indicating that you have low self-respect for yourself. So if any of these are happening, then you need to kind of pivot and study yourself so you can start working towards incorporating better habits in how you treat yourself. You can't walk around talk about I have a high self-respect for myself, but in your brain, with your thoughts, you're telling yourself you're ugly, you're never gonna get what you want, it's never gonna happen, you can't have anything, nothing ever works out for you. That's not a high level of self-respect. A person who has a high level of self-respect looks at life as though everything is possible. Everything that they desire, they can have. And everything that is an extension of the things that they value, they take care of. Even if it comes out of their car, houses, clothing, things that they value, family, whatever it is that you value, people are looking at and saying, hey, is she taking care of that? Or is she treating it badly? And they're processing it. They're looking at it. Hey, Marcel, the algorithm has really blessed me with this content. I found your page a few days ago. This definitely confirms I'm on the right frequency. Thank you. Absolutely. Yes, being okay with being the villain bad guy. Yes, there is something. I don't know what it is. There is something wrong where this generation of women, and I'm not going to say all because it's not all. I guarantee I've met women who are 10 years younger than I. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's such high energy, such a high vibe, such high self-respect for themselves. I love it. Then I've met women, 10 years younger that didn't, or 20 years older that didn't. So it's not even about age, but there is something going on where we expect someone to love us more than we love ourselves, that we expect someone else to respect us more than we respect ourselves, or someone to care more than we care about ourselves. We just want to release personal responsibility. And the thing is, this simulation, this reality requires personal responsibility because it requires personal power. And if you're relinquishing it and you're just putting it off on other people, you're keeping yourself stuck and stagnant. You're keeping yourself from leveling up and growing because you can't stop people from evaluating you to determine the level of respect they're going to give you. And unfortunately, when it comes to women, per se, women don't get the same level of self-respect or respect at all when it comes to money, positions, or businesses. We don't get that same self-respect or respect from other people. They don't look at it and they don't immediately give us respect because of those things. Even when it comes to having that for ourselves, it's even different for men and women. As a man, he can go out here and build himself up and become a multimillionaire, and that's definitely going to help with his self-respect because his stuff is external. The masculine is all about external and the environment. It's internal for the feminine. And so that is the reason why the things that we do as far as in the external world, in this reality, in this simulation that we're currently living, that the things that we accomplish, like titles and money, those things don't add. People don't look at us and immediately respect us for those things. They respect us more for like our self-esteem, our self-confidence, our self-respect, our self-care, our compassion, because it's all internal. The feminine gets more respect for all things self because that is our jam. And I'm not saying that it's fair because there's nothing fair. There's no fairness. Fair doesn't exist. I'm just telling you how it is for men and women. Even when it comes to building your self-respect for yourself, it's on a whole nother different level if you're a man or woman. But it needs to be done across the board regardless. People are still evaluating those things to determine the level of respect they're going to give you. So if you're operating from the space of people pleasing, of caring about other people and so much more than you care about yourself, and taking care of other people more than you take care of yourself, putting yourself last, and just, not valuing the things that you say you value. The level of respect that you're going to see that people have for you is going to be very low. Embodiment is such a game changer. Don't talk about, truly be about. Yes, thanks so much. I need to hear this. You mentioned some things I hadn't thought were sending that message. Yes. I don't know. I think somebody had to be, like I said, I feel like a lot of us will be on the same frequency, and we're hearing some of the same things, and that we need to address and talk about, because I didn't want to do this topic, not today. I wanted to do something else, but I couldn't. I kind of follow where God leads me, and this was in my heart to come talk about, even as though I knew that it's not one of those things that everybody's going to pack into a live stream for. Very true. Material things really don't earn women respect. People respect us more for how we carry ourselves. Ding, 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 ding. That's the reason why that's the reason why you're coming across a lot of women today, since a lot of women are successful, and I want women to win. I can't change how society is set up. I just tell it like it is. Women may not want to hear that you're not on the same grading scale as a man, even when it comes down to self-respect, even when it comes to respect. So when it comes to respect, a man can go out here and he can build himself up and become a millionaire, and he's going to get a level of respect for that. A woman, she can go here and do it, and they're still going to be like, what else? What else are you going to do? Is there more? They're still going to look at you like, where is the self-confidence? Where is the self-awareness? Where is the self-compassion? Where is the self-respect? They're still going to look at that, and they're going to gauge the level of respect that they have to give us based off those things, and not of the things that men are getting self-respect and respect for. And that's just an unfortunate truth. I didn't make the rules. I'm just telling you the rules. I think a lot of women don't know what the rules are. So you get a lot of women who are like, oh my gosh, you should respect me because I did this. I got this degree. I got all these things. Girl, I love it. I love a woman that wins. I love winners. I'm never around losers. I love winners. I love that for you, but I understand that the world is still gauging the level of respect they're going to give you based off the things of self, and not the things of the external things and things of the world. So that is the reason why it's so important that women do the inner work, because that self-respect is so important with the people that you want to pull into your world. If you want to pull in more high quality, high value people, build your self-respect. Go in and start looking at your character, your values, your dignity. Remember, self-respect is a sum of self-worth. So they're gauging not only your self-respect, but what are you worth? What are you worth? I didn't make the rules, so don't come get mad at me. Don't get mad at me and tell me they respect me. No, they don't. This is the world. This is a simulation. This is the reality that we live in. Women are judged differently. And even when it comes to being respected, they have a different grading scale for respect. So you allowing people to disrespect you more than once and getting mad at me because I don't. Remember, you know the little saying that you would tell kids, little eyes are watching. The unconscious mind is always processing and always watching. And the unconscious mind will catch the cracks even if you think you're good at faking it. You can't fake self-respect. That's the unfortunate truth. So I love the fact that people are trying to encourage you to fake it until you make it, but you really can't fake self-respect, because the unconscious mind is going to pick up on the cracks. It's going to pick up on the fact that you're a people pleaser. It's going to pick up on the fact that you don't value the things that you say you value. It's going to pick on the fact that you don't have any dignity. It's going to pick on the fact that you don't have personal power or responsibility. It's going to pick up on the fact that you don't have any type of accountability. So people's unconscious mind, they're constantly scanning and picking that up. And then they're going to act accordingly. And they may not even be able to articulate it in words and tell you why they start treating you the way that they're treating you. They're treating you the way that you treat you. That is what's happening. They're your mirror. They're your reflection. Everybody in your world is current your mirror, your reflection. They give you a view of how you view you. They give you a view for the guy that you decided to be with, even though he was very disrespectful and he said something very hurtful. He called you out your name, but you stayed. So he reflected that back to you. He realized that that's the level of respect he can give you. He can call you out your name. You're going to accept it and you're going to stay. And you're going to give him so many chances to change. That is the reason why people expect you to do things and they didn't ask you, because they know you're going to do it. Because they know you want to please everybody. You want everybody to like you. You want everybody to welcome you. And so since they know that you're a people pleaser, that you want everybody to like you, they're going to reflect back to you. And they're not even going to ask you for what you want. They're not even going to worry about asking you because they already know that you're going to do it anyway. Self-respect. And yes, it's inner work. There's no way I can tell you how to correct that. I just want to make you self-aware. See that little word? The work of self. I want you to make yourself aware that this is how people are coming around, and they are determining the level of self-respect, the level of respect that they have to give you based off the self-respect and respect that you have for yourself. They are just reflecting it back to you. You don't like the reflection? Do something about it. You don't like what you're seeing? Make some changes. Because this is what it is in the simulation reality that we currently live in. You have so much personal power that you have to decide to take in your own hands if you want the reflection, the mirror, to change. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open up the chat for any comments or anything that you want to say about this topic. And while I'm giving you some time to go ahead and write something down in the chat, remember we have our Divine Blueprint coming up March the 17th. You want to go ahead and grab it. This is the last day for pre-order. And we're going to be talking about spiritual law and love. I'm so excited about that. You all know spiritual topics is one of my favorite things to do. Refusing to allow people to talk to you in a certain way. So why are you allowing someone to disrespect you or talk to you in a way that you're a kid or to call you out your name? Self-respect. And people know, like I said, the unconscious mind is always evaluating, is always honing in on the cracks of self-respect that you do have. So what they do, they reflect that back. So you've allowed them to call you out your name. So that's what they're going to continue to do. You done had friends for 20 years and they're untrustworthy. They are not dependable, but you still had them around for 20 years. Self-respect. They're only going to reflect how you feel about you. So you're playing about you, they're going to play about you. You don't feel like you're important, they're going to show you not important. Not setting any boundaries. Self-respect. You allow people to misuse you, do anything they want to do to you. You set no type of energetic boundaries. You don't tell anybody exactly what you're looking for or what you want. They're just going to reflect that back to you. You don't have any boundaries. Guess what? They're going to treat you no boundaries. They're going to realize that you're open to everything. And so now anything and everything can happen. They're going to turn you everywhere but loose. Compromising your values. That's one thing I love about women and hate about women. I love the fact that a lot of times they know what they value. The thing is, they'll compromise their values. They'll compromise themselves for God. They will put that God before their own values. Some of you say that, oh, I'm very religious. But then as soon as a guy come around, baby, that religion is to the wayside. So you'll sacrifice the religion that you say you value, self-respect. He's going to see that you don't value that thing that you say you value, and he's going to treat it and you accordingly. You compromise yourself. You compromise the things that are important to you. You give yourself so away for so little, and then you wonder why you don't receive anything back. Self-respect. They're going to reflect back that you don't take yourself seriously. You compromise. You don't stand on business for yourself. You don't care about yourself. So they're going to reflect that back to you. Everything of self is requiring action from you. This is something no one can give you. No one can give you self-respect, because self-respect just means having a healthy regard for your character, values, and dignity. So everything of self, you have to take the actionable steps in order to build that for yourself. You have to have self-respect. You have to have self-awareness. You have to have self-confidence. You have to have self-esteem. You have to have self-discipline. You have to have everything of self. And when people see that you haven't built any of that, you haven't taken yourself seriously, you haven't done the work, they treat you accordingly. But self-respect matters. You should not expect to be of this world, this simulation, this reality that we're currently living in, and expect people to love you more than you love yourself. Your first love should always be you. I've always been very honest, and I told people, hey, I put my husband on a pedestal, but his pedestal is never above mine. And I love that man, but his pedestal is never above mine. I love me more. The self-respect thing is not something that's built in. It's something that you have to build. You literally have to do the internal work required to have self-respect. Because even when I was being taught as a little girl, because I had access to the information as a little girl, and I still fumbled it because I didn't understand how important it was. I didn't understand when it comes to dealing with men, they're so good at this. They're so good at honing in the lack of self-respect that a woman has and reflecting it back to them. They're so good at it. So I didn't know that it mattered. When my grandmother would give me these little examples and she'd be like, hey, if you don't take care of the things you say you value, the things that you value are an extension of your self-respect for yourself. So if you don't keep your home nice, people will literally come in and they will drop paper on the floor. They will come in and dirty up your home because you're not taking care of it. They're going to reflect back to you how you treat the things that you say you value. And I never could get it. It took me years to get exactly what she was saying to me and realizing I got to do the work because I want to have a healthy level of self-respect so that when I get people in my life, when people come in my life, they're able to give back or reflect back that healthy respect that I have myself. So do I have people coming in trying to take advantage of me? No. Do I have people coming in here trying to disrespect me? No. Do I have people coming in not appreciating the things that I value? No. I told you I live a very boring, peaceful life, and I love it like that. When I didn't have self-respect for myself, I actually lived a life of chaos because then you tend to have friends that you shouldn't have been friends with. You tend to have people in your life that you shouldn't have been around. But at that point, when you had them in your life, you didn't have a healthy level of self-respect for yourself. So you accepted whatever you were given. Instead of realizing the cards that you were dealt, you still got to play the hand. So if you're giving bad cards, you just wait until you get better ones. So instead of me just accepting friends because I'm around the same area or that we're doing the same things, I wait for people who are actually going to reflect the healthy self-respect that I have so that we can have a healthy friendship. I no longer am open to friends who are going to disrespect me, mistreat me, or use me. People are always checking for self respect. They're always unconsciously looking for something to figure out the level of respect that they're going to give you. And the things that they're unconsciously picking up, because I don't think a lot of people, unless you're self aware of these things, are able to pick up the things that you are able to kind of process the things very quickly, what you're picking up. You just know that this person don't really love themselves. You just know that person is going to be used or they don't mind being used. You just know that that person doesn't respect themselves. And either you're going to reflect that accordingly or you're going to leave that person alone. But people are always checking for self-respect. The simulation, the reality that we currently live in, it gives you so much personal power to actually elevate and evolve and have the life that you want, even down to the people that you allow in your world. Your self-respect matters. Do the work. If you, instead of sitting here waiting to work on your self-respect when it comes to a man, work on your self-respect in every day and everyday little habits that you have. Work on your self-respect in all of the actions and the things that you value. So when it comes to a man, it's so embodied that you can't do any other but to be with a man who is going to view you and reflect back to you the healthy self-respect that you have for yourself. So no, will he be sitting here trying to disrespect you or call you out your name? Absolutely not. Will he be trying to use you because you are allowing yourself to be used? Absolutely not. He's going to actually remove himself from a person who has healthy self-respect because that's the person he can't use. That's the person he is not going to have any use for. He might even tell you too much. But self-respect matters. The best thing that ever happened to me is realizing that I have so much personal power that it's not just on other people, that I have so much personal power to elevate, evolve, and to create and to manifest and to bring things into my world that I desire. That was a game changer. And like I said before, my grandmother was always trying to instill this in me. She was good about instilling this in me. She's the one that gave me the example about the car and your house and how the things that you value and you say that you value, everything she values is literally an extension of your self-respect for yourself. So if you're sleeping in you have it at your home, you have it at your car, all these things will give other people an invitation to treat it just like you treat it. They're not going to do something that you won't do. So no one is going to come in and love you when you don't love yourself. No one's going to come in and respect you when you don't respect yourself. No one's going to come in and care for you when you don't care for yourself. So that's all I had. I needed to get it all out. I wanted it on video because I want women to realize that you have so much personal power, so much creativity and creation energy within you that you don't even understand how powerful are as a woman. And it starts with self. It's not something I can give you. Yes, I wish I could just wave a wand and I could have women just level up, immediately have healthy self-respect for themselves and treat themselves well. When you start treating yourself well, you're going to start other people start treating you well. When you start falling in love with you, you're going to start having other people fall in love with you. When I started doing that work, that is the reason why I got proposed to 3 times. I told you I love myself more. And people responded to that. Men responded to that. I might put him on the pedestal and I treat him well and I have care and consideration for him. But no one goes on the pedestal before me. But I had to build it. And did it take a little bit of time? Yes. Yes, it absolutely did. I didn't just wake up one morning and had a healthy self-respect for myself. I had to go in through the mire and through the issues and the traumas that I was having, the things that I was doing to myself, the way I was treating myself. I had to learn how to value me. And once I learned how valuable I was and am, no one can take that value away. Your self-respect, no one can take it from you. People can come and rob you, but they can't take your self-respect that you have for yourself. They can't take the love that you have for yourself. They can't take the care that you have for yourself. They can't take the consideration that you have for yourself. The good treatment that you give you, nobody can take it from you. And when you have that, rebuilding is on the horizon. Trust, you can do any and everything again. But your self respect is the sum of your self worth. So I don't have anything else, and I don't really see any other comments in the chat. I don't see anybody else saying anything. I appreciate you all for being here. I appreciate you all for staying all the way to the end of the video. Please take the time to like the video and leave a comment on the replay. I am definitely in the comment section responding, and I will see you all on the next one. Y'all have a good day. Bye.